Oh shit. Am I on? Am I on? Hello, everybody. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the fourth anniversary live stream for Old Head, the Old Head brand. Ooh, that hat. This hat is dusty. Woo. Anyway, hey, all right, we already got some people here. So can everybody hear me? Everybody see me? How's everything going? Hold on. I gotta get a drink of coffee real quick. Okay. Already got some comments here. Jelani, thank you. Happy fourth anniversary, Old Head. Thank you very much. Beer Maniac 31. Hello, Old Head, and everyone. Happy New Year from France. I love it. Once again, wherever you're watching from, please chime in and tell me where you are, because that's cool as fuck. And what else do we got? Sorry, I'm trying to. Stevan, Happy New Year and 4 years for Old Head. Thank you very much, sir. Once again, I'm going to try to keep up with the comments here. And Gary, all good here in London. Awesome. And then Pete Gray, happy anniversary from the Bollock side. Hello. Thank you very much. Happy New Year from Indiana. Happy New Year from Ireland, Jarlath. Awesome. And then Anar, is that right? Anar? I don't know, whatever. Happy New Year, people. Cheers from Norway. This is awesome. Nicholas Fisher from Michigan. And then Andrzej, that's probably pretty good. From Poland. Man, this is great. I love it when we get international. And thank you all for being here. We'll give it a couple minutes for the late people to show up. Stevan, Buford, Georgia. Is that what is that, remember, I am American, so I barely even know my own country. All right. Ian Jones, happy anniversary and New Year from the UK. Awesome. I love all my UK peeps. Cool Metal Poop. Happy New Year from Finland. Yes. Nice Sacred Reich shirt, dude. Thank you. This is the beer one where our dude has a beer helmet on, and I had to get it. This is my, I'm kind of like gearing up for 2023, and I hope there's a new Sacred Reich, and I'm celebrating my dudes because they got a new album coming out in 2023 this year. We're in 2023 already. Rock Slayer, Happy New Year from Billings, is MT, Montana. Johnny, Happy New Year from the Texas border. Nice. I'm just over here in Houston. So this is the main reason for this. One, I haven't done a solo live stream in a year. It was January 1st of last year, the last time I did a solo live stream. And that's a long time. But also on January 3rd, which is just a couple days from now, that is the fourth anniversary of the very first episode of the Old Head podcast. When I started this whole thing and I go, I'm just going to do a podcast. And I had been toying with the idea in my head for years. And I just love talking about music. And I was like, well, fuck, it's easy for me to just do it now. Why don't I just do it? And so I did it. And then a few months later, when did I do I have some notes here. On February 25th of 2019, 4 years ago, is when I did my first YouTube video. And then it was just off and running from there. Paul, hi from Manchester, England. Hello. And so this is just kind of a celebration because I've been doing this now for 4 years. And honestly, it's grown more than I didn't anticipate there to be the amount of growth that there has been. Now, I know compared to a lot of YouTubers, I'm small potatoes and I'm completely meaningless and I barely make a blip in the algorithm. But for what I do, which is so, not only is it niche because it's just talking about a specific certain kinds of music, mostly from a certain era most of the time, but also it's my unique perspective where it's literally just me talking about the things that I love. So I leave a whole lot of shit out. And the fact that anybody is interested in hearing that and watching me is fucking amazing. So thank you guys. And we'll celebrate by me talking about what I'm looking forward to this year, but also answering questions and talking with you guys out there. So you guys are absolutely important here. Let's see. Hold on. What do we got? Nicholas Fisher, January 2nd is my birthday. What a great month. Yeah. My daughter's birthday is at the end of this month. What is this? Damn, the newest Mastodon is pretty awesome. Where have you been? It's been out for a couple years, right? Yeah. Guy, hello. Hi from Southeast London, UK. Awesome. Let's see. Adam, Happy New Year from Ripon. It's probably Rip On, but I'm gonna call it Ripon, England. Bathing the kids so they can see this going tits up and in the tub at any time. All right. I mean, however you watch it and whoever you watch it with is good for me. Andre, Happy New Year from Portugal. Hell yeah. Andres, some Iron Maiden fans here. I mean, I'm an Iron Maiden fan for the most part, so me. But so let's talk about. I guess there's a good number of you in here, and for those of you who are watching this later, I'm not going to just sit here and wait because that's boring for the replays. But 2023, and Happy New Year from Denver. Hello, Aaron. What is this? Oh, my brother got it for me for Christmas, so I finally got around to hearing the new Mastodon. Okay, yeah, it's a great album. It was in my top 10 last year. I don't remember what number it was, like number 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah, so this year, here's what I'm looking forward to this year. The only things that are confirmed, because like the end of the year, there are pre-orders and albums that are announced, but as you get closer to Christmas, those kind of fall off and you don't hear anything until the new year gets going again. But obviously, the number one thing that I'm excited about in 2023 is clearly going to be Metallica 72 Seasons, which, what is that, April? I think that comes out. And I'm excited for that because I'm a fanboy of these guys. I'm a fanboy of his too, but he's no longer in the band. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. And then also the new Obituary album, Dying of Everything, comes out, and that's going to be fucking cool. I'm also looking forward to the new Skindred album because I actually just got really into Dub War / Skindred, and it just seems like it's going to be a fun time, the shit that I've heard off of their new album. And then last but not least, a smaller release, but if you watch my shit, you know about this, the new album from Jason Bieler and the Baron von Bielski Orchestra is going to be coming out, and it's called Postcards from the Asylum. And he said it was going to be coming out early 2023, but we'll see how that goes. But I've already heard a handful of songs from it because he's released a handful of songs from it, but apparently there's supposed to be a bunch more. But what I've heard so far, fucking killer, man. And then we have anybody chime in with some with ones that they know might be happening this year, but here are the ones that haven't been confirmed or are really slim on the chance of them happening. I keep hearing that there's supposed to be new Anthrax, but also those guys are going on tour, and then Charlie's going on tour with Pantera. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't get the new Anthrax album until 2024, but I would really like to get it in 2023. Another big one is Sacred Reich. I don't know if that's going to come out this year. I do know that they're demoing stuff. And just recently, I don't know if you guys saw it, Dave McClain, the drummer of Sacred Reich, posted like him, I guess, playing stuff for the demos, and the little song clips sounded fucking great. So very, very excited about that whenever it comes out. The most interesting one is that they're I got to read this comment because this is Jarlath Jason Bieler was my pleasant surprise of 2022. He's got more coming, man. It's fucking good shit. Anyway, okay. Where are we now? Oh, so New Evil. Okay. I'm not really that into Evil, especially like the newer shit. It didn't really do much for me. Gary, that's one I was gonna get to. Testament apparently are supposed to have a new album, which is gonna be really cool. Um, and then Death Angel. I heard some talk about Death Angel having a new album, and that's also fucking cool. I love Death Angel. The interesting one is that I keep seeing on all these lists for 2023 Guns N' Roses, and I'm probably not going to like it. I mean, I love Guns N' Roses. I just don't see them putting out anything that's going to blow me away. But if they actually put an album out, like that would be really interesting, and I would be very excited to hear that. Nicholas Fisher, Overkill, yeah, Overkill is supposed to put out an album this year too. Judas Priest. I've heard rumors about Judas Priest putting out an album this year, and the only reason that's interesting to me, here's a pin, is because 2022 was the year that I finally found my way into getting into Judas Priest. Now, to be fair, my favorite Judas Priest now is 80s. So Defenders of the Faith, Turbo, Ram It Down. That's my sweet spot. I love all of that shit. The other stuff's good too, and it's really growing on me. So the fact that I'm actually getting into Judas Priest at all is interesting. And so when they release a new album, I'll be like, oh, I'll be able to listen to this from a different perspective now because I now like some of their stuff. And I would consider myself a semi fan, you know. Also, we got to shout out to my buddies, Acid Rain. Acid Rain do not have a new album coming out this year, but they will be working on one. I seriously doubt it will be done and ready to go by this year, but they will be working on it, as in writing songs, demoing, and blah, blah, blah. And so I got to give them a shout out because that is, fucking awesome. And we'll get to hear them with this new guitar player and the songs that they'll be creating together, because Paul, the old guitar player, was a big part of the writing process. And now we're going to get a different flavor of Acid Rain. And I'm actually kind of excited about that because I'm just like, I don't like it when a band just like does the same thing again. And not that they would have, but now they have the opportunity to do whatever, it's like in certain ways, they can just kind of go wherever they want. And I'm pretty excited to hear that. Let me see. Nicholas Fisher, 90s Priest with Tim Ripper Owens is underrated. I don't know. When we did that, when we did the Cranked and Ranked, the second album it is awful with Tim Ripper Owens. He's not awful. It's overall, I was really shocked at how not very good it was. But to be fair though, I'm not really a Judas Priest fan. And also my perspective of them really hasn't changed from when we did Cranked and Ranked Judas Priest. And that is Judas Priest up until 1990 were a hard rock band that called themselves metal. And then in 1990, they decided to start making more metal, because the majority of the music that Judas Priest put out from the 70s through the 80s is 85 to 90% hard rock music. It's not metal. And so I think once they went, we're metal now, that I kind of, I like Painkiller, but I kind of lose interest because I'm like, you don't need to, where are the songs? Where are the hooks? I don't necessarily, I love Rob Halford as a vocalist, but where are the memorable songs? And there's less now than there was. Same thing with Maiden. Maiden's still a great band, but past the 90s, Maiden has albums that I enjoy, but they don't have those songs where I'm just like, oh, this fucking song. It's all just kind of like, I like things about them here and there. That's it. So let me see what's happening here. Gary says Rob Trujillo going back to Suicidal Infectious Grooves project with Psycho Mike would be cool. Yeah, because they did that Infectious Grooves EP with Rob and Mike. And yeah, I think Adam Goldsmith here, some new Suicidal would be ace. Yeah, I would like some new Suicidal. It's been a long time because they put out their last actual new album was like what, 20 16 or something like that. And then they did that other album that was like a re-recording of Psycho Myco stuff. But I would like that as well. Let me see. Adam Goldsmith, Demolition isn't great, but I prefer the first two albums when Rob came back. Okay. They'll have to do something really special to top Firepower. I remember enjoying things about Firepower, so I'm down for whatever. I'm more open-minded about it than I was before, which is that is the number one reason why I don't make videos about things I don't like. Like here's a video about the 10 shittiest bands, or here's why this album sucks, because I know that there's the great possibility that 10 years from now I'm going to end up liking whatever that is, or something that I loved 10 years ago will now become something that I'm just like, I don't really care. So it's just, it's ridiculous and I see it all the time, especially in the TikTok world now. I'm not very, very active on TikTok, mostly because it's just filled with a lot of really awful people. and there's so many people trying to get views by doing things like, these bands suck, or here's why you suck for liking this band, or it's just jokes, recycled jokes. It seems like every other TikTok I go is like, it's another joke about St. Anger's Snare. It's another joke about Justice not having the bass very loud. It's just like so tired and stupid. And it's become like, all of those things have become entry level metal cliches, where it's almost like somebody discovers metal and then they walk up to the group of metalheads like, hey, fellow metalheads, that's St. Anger Snare, right? And it just becomes so fucking tired. I'm just like, we've moved past that now. and you either like that or you don't. If you're still talking about it, then you need to get a fucking life. And some people would say the same thing about me. I'm still talking about music that came out 30 plus years ago. And that will be continuing this year, by the way, for anybody that cares. 30 years ago this month will continue, and I'll be doing the entire year for 1993. And so that'll be cool. J Plus, Happy New Year, dude. Want to thank you and Eddie for making my commute to work less painful. You're welcome, man. We're not back this week with Cranked and Ranked, but next week we will. And we have a really long list of things that we want to do, so much so that I think that actual list by itself is probably another 5 years of content. And so we've got a long list of things that we're just doing this year. And it's a headache trying to put it all together and figure out like what's going to happen when. And there's a lot more Cranked and Ranked action coming. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments here. I don't think I missed any. If I missed them, you can repost something or something. Integrity 101, what's up? Happy New Year to you as well. Vengeance Falls, I'm with you on TikTok. It's not original and full of overdone jokes. Yeah, but just a bunch of piling on. Like, I don't understand. It's like, it's the thing with Vince Neil. Like, Vince Neil can't sing very well anymore. People are still paying to go see him. So if I was him, I'd continue to tour. Fuck it. But once it became like the funny thing to poke fun at Vince Neil, every video was another person with a clip of Vince Neil going, oh, doesn't he sound bad? That's funny, am I right? And it's fucking stupid. But let's not talk about things that are fucking stupid. This is a celebration, bitches. Hold on. Evil Strawberry Studios. Happy New Year, my dude. Love your videos. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you all for being here. Once again, like I said, if you came here after I said that, chime in with where you're watching from, because I like to know like how far I'm reaching. This is why I did this live stream at 1 o'clock in the afternoon here Central Time, because I knew I could reach people in the UK and other places, whereas I do them at night here, and all of a sudden there's another group of people that can't watch them. So thank you for being here. Integrity 101, 4 years, damn, time flies. Yep. And I can't believe, Pennsylvania. Nice. I can't believe that I didn't think that I would keep doing it as long as I've done it, but I discovered that I enjoy it so much. Like, I know there are YouTubers out there and you hear them say things like, it's really stressful making sure I have content regularly. And maybe there's a little bit of stress to that for me, but most of the time it's not. Like I look forward to doing my videos and I look forward to posting them and having people react to them. And and I think it's because I'm such a huge introvert. Like the way that I love to talk to people is literally just like this. I'm looking at a camera and there's nobody in the room with me, but I'm still interacting with people. And so I think that's why this whole YouTube thing and the podcast thing has really worked for me, because I don't want to go out and party and talk to a bunch of people, but I do like to talk about the things that I love and I feel like I have something to contribute. And so that's how it works. Hold on. J plus, hi, we're in Delaware. Yeah. Andres, do you like scorpions? No, but I don't don't take that. Don't put any weight in that at all, because eventually I'll probably get into scorpions too. Because I know a handful of their songs and none of them really do much for me. But maybe that's a thing. Maybe we'll do a cranked and ranked on scorpions and I'll deep dive and then find my way into scorpions. Let's say, Gary, has anyone have live rock shows around the globe booked for 2023? That's a good segue. I only have 3 shows that for sure I'm going to. One is a little iffy so far. In February, Anthrax are coming through Houston. I'm going to see them. It's Anthrax. I hate this order of bands. It's Anthrax, Black Label Society, fine, and then Exodus. Okay, hold on. I'm just saying, by the time they come through Houston, that better switch. Because I don't really want to have to be in front row to sit through. I already forgot the name of the fucking band, Black Label Society. It's just not my thing. But it should be Exodus and then Anthrax. I don't know why Black Label is playing over Exodus. It's weird. But excited about that show. And then, of course, August is in Dallas, Fort Worth area, which is, a couple hundred miles from me. Metallica. I got tickets for that 2-day thing where it's 2 concerts, 2 different sets. And it's just going to be a fucking fun trip for me and my wife. Gonna, go stay in a hotel, and I'll probably make a video about the whole experience and post it on YouTube. But I'm looking forward to that, obviously. And then I was supposed to see King's X last month, but Ty Tabor got COVID and they canceled the show. And now we're just waiting for when is it going to be rescheduled. So hopefully that'll happen sometime soon and I'll get to see King's X. But so far, those are the only 3. Is anybody else seeing any live shows? Hold on. What does this say? Robert, Happy New Year from Croatia. Awesome. Something know about X band Stress Ball. I don't think I know Stress Ball. That sounds like a hardcore band. Nicholas Fisher, I was in 11th grade 4 years ago when I started watching your channel. Man, so you are now an adult and you've graduated from high school. And what are you doing now? Are you neglecting your studies? Are you going to college? Like I'm sorry if this is personal. Oh, this is a good one. Evil Strawberry, what's your favorite Ozzy solo album if you have one? Up through Osmosis, I like all of those albums. I like stuff off of every Ozzy album, but oh man, what is my favorite Ozzy album? I really don't know. It's probably No More Tears, because that was the one that, like, I was a teenager when that came out, or a young teenager, and it was a big deal for me at the time, and I listened to the fuck out of it. And so probably No More Tears, I think. Ian Jones, Cranked and Ranked, Flotsam and Jetsam. That is in the list. That is on the list for sure. Let's see. Gary, Metallica in Hamburg, Germany. Nice. That's going to be cool. Gary says Iron Maiden, London and Milan so far. 2 shows. Vengeance Falls. Last show I saw was Trans-Siberian Orchestra with my mom. Okay, gonna have to check online for upcoming shows. Yeah, they'll start posting. I'm pretty sure. And a lot of tours are gonna start being announced, I think. Nicholas Fisher says it's all good. I'm a mechanic now. Nice. That is a good trade to have, sir. Let's see. Rock Slayer. Anyone here joining me on the Headbangers boat cruise with Lamb of God? I'd love to do that. I don't have the money or time to take off of work to go do something like that. Integrity 101. I've been on a huge Anthrax kick lately. What would you think if Anthrax followed in Sabbath's shoes and did a side band called Sound of White Noise with Bush? Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. I would love that. Because I love Bush era Anthrax, but I don't want Joey to sing those songs. It doesn't seem right to me. Same thing when John Bush was in the band and they would open every fucking show with like Among the Living or Caught in a Mosh. I'd be like, don't make John's voice does not suit those songs at all. But those two things separately, that they have my full support. That would be great. This Vincent Doyle, would you go see Pantera? Or are you happy to leave that in the past? I'm seeing Pantera because they are opening for Metallica. The footage I've seen so far, I'm not. Charlie Benante is a fucking great drummer. And other than that, Rex is a good bass player, and that's about as far as my compliments have to go. But it may be a different story when I'm in an arena, you know, with a couple beers in me. Maybe it'll feel different. Maybe it'll feel more like a celebration of Pantera, and because watching it online, you don't get the full effect of anything. So I'll save my my real opinion for after I see it. Anar, looking forward to Soulfly, Mayhem, Napalm Death, Pantera, etc. at the Tons of Rock Festival. Oh shit, man! I was so bummed that I didn't get to see Napalm Death when they came through Houston just recently, because it was one of those things where it slipped my mind, and then I was like, "Oh shit, that's coming up in a week," and then they were sold out, and I was bummed. I love Napalm Death. Let's see, Jarlath, Billy Talent in May. Okay, Iron Maiden in June, Def Leppard, Motley Crue in July. Also, hopefully, Depeche Mode in Spain with Mi Esposa. Depeche Mode, yeah. I don't. When's the last time they put out an album? I mean, I know they can just tour on old shit and it doesn't fucking matter, but I don't think, has there been a Depeche Mode album? Didn't one of the main dudes die? I think he did. Anyway, I like some Depeche Mode, but I'm more of a late 80s, early 90s Depeche Mode guy. I don't want to hear Just Can't Get Enough again. I'm fine with that. So that honestly, that's really all I have to talk about here. Those are the only things that I know that are happening in 2023, aside from me continuing to just make a shitload of videos. Paul, wasn't there talk of John Bush going out and do his Anthrax era songs? Well, that's fine. I wouldn't go see that though. Like I want, you know, Scott Ian and Charlie Benante. I want the band to do them with John. I honestly would love it if they did what, not, I guess it's not the same thing as what David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar did, but if Anthrax went on tour and did half of a set with Joey and half of a set with John, I'd pay for that. I'd pay top dollar for that. That would be fun. J Plus, last live show I saw was John Carpenter in Philly. Nice. Sat right next to Jerry Only. It was awesome. He hung out with us afterwards. Great. That seems like it would be fun. The shows that were popping up that I saw footage of that surprised me, because I'm not really into it, were the Danny Elfman shows I was seeing. And Danny Elfman does like his songs from, like, you know, soundtracks that he's done, but he also does Oingo Boingo and other stuff. And he's got Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit on guitar. And every time I see some footage of it, I go, that looks fucking awesome. I would absolutely go see some Danny Elfman. Let's see. John Bush has said he'd like to tour Anthrax songs with Paul Crook. Okay. It's still not enough for me, but I mean, that would be cool because he toured with them around the time. Oh, here's the thing. Integrity 101. As a giant Pantera nerd, I think a lot of people get the whole situation wrong. I look at it as a celebration of Pantera. I didn't see anyone complaining about Carrie and Tom touring as Slayer. Yeah, you're right. But Slayer does not have an iconic guitar player. They have great guitar players. If there was a part of Slayer that stood out and I heard it and I go, that's Slayer, it would be Tom Araya. So if Tom leaves and Carrie's like, I'm gonna get another version of the band back together with some other dude, that's a different story. What does this say right here? Gary, I heard there is Billy Ray is supporting Gareth Brooks in it for a few. Are you talking about Garth Brooks? Gary, you're on the wrong channel. I'm just kidding. If that's your thing. This is a good one. I forgot about this. Thank you, Beer Maniac. What's your opinion about the Biohazard reunion? I am 100% excited for that. Hatriot, Zetro's Sons band, they're okay. I love Biohazard, and for years I've been like, why can't the original lineup just get back together and do more shit? Because I didn't get to see them back in the day, and now that they're doing it, I think so far they've only announced like festival gigs, and so I would be really stoked if they did a tour and a fucking album. Yeah, that would be absolutely great. So if we can get Home Dude to take a break from his porn career. Vengeance Falls. If Obituary does a tour, I'd love to see them. Yeah, I saw them 3 months ago. Opened for Carcass, which was why I really went. And then Amon Amarth were the headlining band, but I didn't stay for Amon Amarth. And to be honest, I saw clips from the show and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have been into this. It's not my thing. Let's see. Hold on. Gary says, I'm talking about 30 years this month from this year and the number one in America. Oh, okay. Gotcha. It was a joke and I did not get it. I'm not always that sharp. Integrity. Anthrax isn't going to change singers. It would kill the reunion momentum with Joey, in my opinion. No, I don't want them to change singers. Put out a greatest hits of the Bush era and use that to launch. Yeah, Sound of White Noise band. Yeah, if they did that, that's fine. Yeah, I don't want them to change what they're doing because Joey's my favorite. Aaron Morris, I want to see Havoc this year. Nice, yeah. It's been a while since their last album came out. Let's see. Beer Maniac, I saw them 2014 without Evan in a small venue. Okay, I don't know if I heard anything. Did they even do an album with the other vocalists? I think he just was with them touring. Anyway, yeah, Sound of White Noise band, take my money. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is a good one, Stevan. Thanks for turning me on to Bad Salt. You're very, 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 very welcome. That is a band, in my opinion, that needs more people talking about them. If you didn't watch my top 10 of 2022, my number 2 was the self-titled debut album from Bad Salt, who are a band from California, pretty much unknown and amazing shit if you're into that early 2000s the big heavy alternative rock sound. I always kind of refer to Shiner and Quicksand or Rival Schools or that shit where like Cave In went mainstream for a little bit, you know, big rock, but not like cheesy rock. That's what Bad Salt are, and I love that album. Anar would absolutely love Biohazard back in Norway. I saw them with Dog Eat Dog. Oh, wow. In the 90s. Yeah. That's a name from the past right there. Yeah, but the Biohazard reunion would be great. Hold on. Yeah. I need my fuel. Thank you all for being here. Obviously, the first thing that I've done in 2023, tomorrow, there will be a new actual video for me coming out. So hopefully you guys are into that. Vengeance Falls 96. Bad Salt gave me some childhood nostalgia with the anime music videos. Yeah. Johnny G. Hold on. Would you be checking out Morbid Angel this 2023? No. I don't want Morbid Angel without David Vincent. I'm sure they're fine. That last album they did wasn't very good. I even like the one that everybody shits on. I liked that better than the last Morbid Angel album. And so I'm not really interested. I'm also not interested in seeing I Am Morbid. I don't know why those things just rub me the wrong way. I'm just like, if you want to go, that's fine. And if people are paying to go see it, then it's absolutely his right to do it, whatever. But I'm not really interested. J Plus, that top 10 was rad. New Zentrix album kicks ass. Yes, it does. And yeah, I try to like. That's the thing is that so many people's top 10s out there. And I'm not just talking about YouTubers. I'm talking about even in major publications. It seems like people are like, trying to tailor their list to their audience or to what is supposed to make them seem cool or hip or edgy or whatever. And I guarantee you most of those lists, that's not what they actually listen to. Now, they may like those albums, but I always try to do my top 10 at the end of the year with the albums that I kept going back to and I really enjoyed. There are some that I wish made my top 10 and didn't, just because I left a good 5 or 6 albums that could have made the top just because they were ones that I liked and then kind of fell off. And they just didn't excite me as much as I had hoped that they would. And so that's my reasoning for doing the lists that I do. Because I think a lot of people come to my channel expecting it to be metal. And then my top 10s at the end of the year are about 1/3 metal. And so I'm like, well, that's not me. Nowhere on my channel does it say metalhead. It says old head. So Integrity 101, Damage Plan, Slashed and Mashed. It's a long album. We might get around to that. I actually like a lot of that album. But Gary, Municipal Waste from 2022 is brilliant. Cool. I wasn't a huge fan, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. J Plus. I like how you put Tears for Fears in there. Great album as well. Yeah. I was blown away by that album. I was not ready for how good that album was. I knew I was going to like it because I like Tears for Fears, but it's just one of those things where with repeat listens, like a part of a song would start and I'd be like, holy fuck, all of these killer songs are on this album. Anyway, once again, that's not even rock really. Like there's guitars in there, but not a lot. And a lot of them are very jangly, which is it's not metal. Anyway, so yeah, that's if anyone else has any questions in there, go ahead and throw them out there. Thank you for being here. Once again, chime in from where you're watching from if you haven't yet. And yeah, so this is literally just, the beginning of year 4. No, right? No, the beginning of year 5. Yeah, that's how math works, right? For Old Head. And so, yeah. And there's a few cool things that I already know that are going to be coming. I have a couple interviews planned. One of them is a bit of a secret, but you'll hear about that fairly soon. There's an interview that I want to happen that I'm having trouble putting together. And then there's a bunch more Cranked and Ranked, a bunch more old bollocks. I always sort of just leave that up to Howard H. Smith to see if, whenever he's ready to go, I'm ready to go. And so more of those as well. And obviously more Record Roulette. Sorry it's been a little bit, guys, but Record Roulette will continue in 2023. Let's see. All right, hold on. Vengeance Falls. Your video on Fudge Tunnel got me into that band. Fuck yes. I'm so happy. But there's certain bands that's one of those bands that every time I hear somebody tell me that I got them turned on to Fudge Tunnel, I'm just like, fuck yeah, that is a band that I want there to be so much chatter about that band that Alex Newport says, well, maybe we'll just do a little reunion. Yeah, do it, dude. He doesn't like doing heavy music anymore, so I kind of don't think that's ever going to happen. But still. Stevan, I really wanted Megadeth and Machine Head and Slipknot to be in my favorites of 2022. They were not. Yeah, Megadeth was a huge disappointment for me because I expected to at least enjoy most of it, and I enjoyed about 1/8 of it. The rest of it I thought was pretty blah. And that's unfortunate because a lot of people seem to only be sticking to 1 or 2 tracks and then being like, it's this amazing thrash metal album. And I'm just like, most of it's not thrash, guys. Most of it sounds like Super Collider with some thrash things thrown in. But those are Megadeth fans where if it's the time of the year where you're supposed to tout Megadeth is the cool thing, then everyone jumps on without even really listening to the album. And whatever, it's fine. Let's see. Beat Keller, Happy New Year from Switzerland. Hell yeah. Huge fan of Cranked and Ranked. Thank you very much. Gary, Megadeth was kick ass. I didn't agree with Old Bollocks. Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't make, I didn't make like a specific video where I reviewed the Megadeth album. It was just done on Old Bollocks as a conversation because I'm like, I'm not going to make a video about how I don't like something because other people do like it and I want them to enjoy it. Beat Killer, please do some more death metal rankings. Found them to be the funniest, especially the Obituary ranking was hilarious. Yeah, if we do another death metal band, I don't know who we would do next. Maybe we'd do Deicide next. I would really like to do Gorguts or Atheist. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, Eddie's tardy impersonation is stellar. Yeah, it's pretty great. Paul Chatterton, really hoping for a King's X UK tour this year. It could happen. I mean, I don't see why they would stop touring now. Dr. Funkenstein, glad to catch you live. Still waiting for King's X Cranked and Ranked. Yeah, that'll come at some point. That's going to be a big undertaking for Eddie because he doesn't know a lot of King's X stuff. Beer Maniac 31 saw Fudge Tunnel with Sepultura on the Arise tour in 1991 and really enjoyed them because it was original and different. They were booed at the Paris show on the same tour. Yep, I could see that happening to them. Nicholas Fisher, I spent $80 on the new Megadeth album. Oh, okay. I pre-ordered it and then canceled my pre-order once I started hearing stuff from it. Let's see. Vengeance Falls. I think it's pretty safe to say me and you got similar taste in music. Steven, don't use my government name. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, then you've got some fucking great taste. Ian Jones, Entombed. We will definitely get to Entombed. Warlock Bathory, what's your top 5 power metal bands, bro? First off, the bro thing. No, I'm not gonna. Also, power metal is not really my thing, so I don't even think I can name 5 power metal bands. I really like those Keeper of the Seven Keys albums from Halloween. That's power metal, right? Anyway, Integrity 101. I love thrash bands. I'm pretty mainstream, but I'm also kind of tired of thrash. For new stuff, I agree. Feels like most songs from the classic thrash bands follow the same formula over and over, getting old, I guess. Yep. That is the number one reason why, as much as I love Lux Eterna from the new Metallica album, I don't want the whole album to sound like that because it's cool as a throwback because I feel like it kind of harkens back to Hit the Lights and it's like, here's where we started, here's where we are now. I would like the album to be a variety. And I think I said it on I don't know what podcast I said it on, but I said I would prefer them to just put out middle of the road Metallica than to try to do an entire throwback album because I don't think I'm going to be that excited about it. But who knows? You know, I'm a huge Metallica fanboy, so even the albums that I were kind of lukewarm on have grown on me. So we'll see what happens. All right. Stevan, the variety of your list is why it's great. I didn't know most of the choices and was glad to expand. Yeah. I don't expect everyone to be totally into everything that I'm into. The point of my channel is to give my unique perspective. And when I say unique, I don't mean to point myself out as special. I just think that people my age, and when I say my age, I mean specifically people that were born in the late 70s, because we're like a cusp of 2 different generations almost, where we grew up on some 80s stuff and some 90s stuff. So the way that music hit us was much different. That's why the Black Album was not a problem for us. Load was not a problem for us, although I didn't like it that much in the beginning. And then the thrash bands becoming a little more progressive or trying different things, or the thrash bands putting out albums that weren't thrash. didn't bother me because I feel like I had one foot in each side of things where I enjoyed where they came from and what they accomplished. And I also enjoy where they went, which is why I'm so big on bands putting out albums that are different from what they've already done. So, Gary Hetfield said it's a Nawabum album. He didn't say that. I've read what he said about it, but I think it's going to have some Nawabum vibes on it, but I don't think the whole album is going to be that. And I think that, yeah, when it comes to Metallica, I want there to be some surprises, and that's because of who I am as a music fan. Like if a band puts out something new, I want my first reaction to be, huh? I don't want it to be like, okay, this sounds like them. Yeah, and I'm not, that doesn't do it for me. But then again, I'm just one person. And if tons of people love when a band retreads the same shit over and over again, and they're perfectly happy with it or whatever, it's fine. It's just not my thing. Stevan, I'll be 50 in 2 weeks. I feel on the crust more than the cusp. Yep. Dr. Funkenstein, I want to love Lux, but I just don't. I could totally see that though. That's the thing, is it's one of those songs that like I really like it, but I also can totally see why somebody wouldn't. And so it is what it is. It's just, one of those things. But yeah, if it is 10 of those, I'll be underwhelmed. But we'll see. I'll still be flying their flag. Gary, I hope it's not a Black Album vibe. Oh, I fucking hope. I would love them to do that again. To fucking start, write some killer, shorter songs that just are memorable. Man, I would love that. Anyway, Vengeance Falls 96. Are you a fan of Sam Dunn? I absolutely am. If so, what's something he's done that you like? I was big on Sam Dunn from the beginning, from Metal: A Headbanger's Journey, and then he did the Metal Evolution series, and then he started Banger TV, and I was a huge fan in the beginning, but I have fallen off big time because the vibe that I like is Sam Dunn's vibe because he's an older metalhead, but he turned over most of Banger TV to younger people who were all into some of the worst music, in my opinion. It's like 5 or 6 different people, and each one of them is wearing a metal costume where they have to be into these specific things. And it's like cosplay more than it is actual music love. And so I can't stand it. I'm just like, it's not for me anymore. And so, whenever Sam Dunn pops up on a video, I'll watch it. But they fucking had a fucking Metallica ranking thing, and it was the most god-awful thing. I couldn't even watch the whole thing because the people that were talking about it, I'm just like, there doesn't need to be more discussion like this about Metallica. We get it. You think Saint Anger's bad and you want them to do the old stuff again. It's like just fucking, it's like a fucking needle in a haystack now, of videos that are touting the same old bullshit. Anyway, let's see. Vic, do you think dating in the 90s was easier than today? No. Dating now is easier because you have Tinder and online stuff. Yeah, no, I would have done much better because I'm very introverted. So I would have done much better doing online dating back then. Interesting question, but thank you. Lorkin and some numbers. Hi, old head. I'm still totally drunk. Good. I expect nothing. Where are you? What time is it where you are? That's the real question. Low noise, Jason Skills. I like a couple of the guys on Banger TV, but I hear you. It's quite fashion. Yeah, it does. There are some likable people on there. But yeah, I think that maybe it started off being aimed at somebody like me, and then it very quickly was being aimed at other people. And that's fine because not everything has to be just for me. So let's see. J plus metalhead LARPing. Yep. But there's a lot of that. I see that all the time online now where there's a lot of people that treat metal like it's cosplay. Like, oh, today I'm metal. tomorrow I will be Dragon Ball Z, and then the next day I will be Pokemon. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. Integrity 101. So I'm on a big John Bush kick lately. Any suggestions for other traditional hard rock metal bands with a singer with a similar vocal style to John Bush? Anyone want to chime in on that? Who has a voice like John Bush? Is there anybody? Chime in with some of it. Stefan, I'm with you on Banger TV. Yep. Let's see. Low Noise. I do use Banger TV for the monthly roundups, upcoming releases, but the hosts do get on the nerves a bit. But they also only talk about certain releases. They leave out so much important shit for these niche things that these young people think are fucking cool. And once again, to each their own. Warlock Battery, what are your top 5 glam metal bands? I like a lot of glam metal bands. Poison's great. I love Poison. Cinderella. What else would be considered glam? Is Rat considered glam? Rat would probably be my number 1. I don't know. That's something I'd have to think on. Dogtown 16V might be coming over to Texas for a road trip this September. Can you recommend any good UCD vinyl stores in the Dallas, Houston, San Antonio area? In Houston, there's a place called Sig's Lagoon. They have a really good used section there. The only other record store that I really like is Cactus Music. They have a pretty big used vinyl section there too. That's a pretty big store. Both of those are good, Sig's Lagoon and Cactus. 9 p.m. in Germany. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, drink away, dude. Yeah. Santeria 78. I like the Metal Comedian. He's all right. He's funny sometimes. Nicholas Fisher. Have you seen any new movies lately? The new I just watched Violent Night like a couple weeks ago, which I highly recommend. It is a Christmas Die Hard type movie with the dude that plays Hopper on Stranger Things as Santa Claus, and it is fun and violent and an absolute blast. Prior to that, I watched Top Gun Maverick, which was okay. I don't see how it's getting the praise that it got, but it was fun. The actual like flight parts in the movie were a whole lot of fun, but the rest of the movie was cheesy as fuck. It was good to see Val Kilmer in it, but from the build up for that movie, I expected it to be way better, and it was just pretty good, and I enjoyed some of it a lot. I also watched Nope, the Jordan Peele movie Nope, which apparently is divisive. Some people think it's fucking awful. I thought it was great, and I had a lot of fun with that one because it's just what I expect from Jordan Peele, which is like a kind of mind fuck of a movie that you just kind of let yourself go with, and you don't really try to don't try to read too much into it. I think that's when those movies kind of fall apart, but I liked it. I think that's probably it for new movies that I've seen recently. Oh, I saw Clerks 3, but that was several months back. I really liked Clerks 3. I cried a lot in that movie, more than I expected to cry. And I felt very weird about it for about a week or two. But I haven't watched it again since then, so I got to go back. But that was good. Let's see. Thralls of Metal goes way deeper than Banger TV. I think that's another YouTube channel. I think I've seen them. There's so many metal YouTubers that are bigger, and most of the time I just don't get any enjoyment out of it because they all seem to fall into some category at some point where it's just the same shit that you hear on 500 other channels, and that's not what I'm into. But that's why I make my own shit. I'm like, if I don't like the shit, I might as well make my own shit. So there you go. Jarlath OG Metal Evolution is a superb series. Absolutely. And even better by Banger TV, Hip Hop Evolution. That series is fucking killer. But same company did it. Hip Hop Evolution, Metal Evolution. Yeah, absolutely great. Integrity 101. Every time a band I don't care about releases an album I dislike, I go around and complain about it to everyone. But that's totally reasonable. Yeah. Let's see. Metal VC has a lot to dive into. Okay, great channels like Metallurgy. I've seen all of these. I think I'm subscribed to some of them too. They're not really into modern metal like Fear Factor, Machine Head. Is that even modern anymore? Remember, we're getting older, guys. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting behind on these comments, but thank you for commenting so much. Beer Maniac, do you like Armored Saint? I do. Yeah, I like John Bush. I like Armored Saint. Yes. Let's see. I'm feeling a lot of old school death metal this past year, more than thrash, black metal, trad metal. I do listen to loads of other genres. Yeah. I listen to mostly hard rock and metal, but I also listen to some hip hop and pop music if there's anything that tickles my fancy. Vengeance Falls, Violent Night was funny as fuck. I saw it in theaters. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Stevan, I was really happy to like the new Chili Peppers releases, especially the last one. Flea was on another level on that one. I really want to like the Red Hot Chili Peppers stuff because I'm such a huge fan of everything they did up until the end of the 90s, and I haven't liked anything they've done since. But I want to because it's like I like the band. I just like them. And so I want them to put out things that excite me, but they don't. And so it's a weird feeling to have because it's like Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters is the same way where I like those guys and I want to be excited when they put out an album. But most of the time it's like one or two tracks I like. And then the rest I go, I can't be bothered, but whatever. I guess that's a first world problem, right? I didn't like the new Chili Peppers. Integrity 101, Armored Saint is great. I need to find more bands like them. I'm kind of tired of brutal screaming and metal. I'm just getting old, I guess. No, I mean, I only like that sometimes, but I guess I'm also getting old. Low Noise, Jason Skills. I got a cheap used copy of The Thing on DVD, Classic Carpenter. Yeah. Kurt Russell. Yeah. I'm on board with Kurt Russell all the time. I don't know what this is a reference to, but it says bigger isn't always better, and I agree. Gary Byron, favorite hip hop rap albums: Bizarre Ride to the Far Side by The Far Side, Strictly Business by EPMD. There's a lot, and then those are the first two that popped into my brain. 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul. I'm blanking right now. There's a few of them, a few of my favorites. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to address this just because it has nothing to do with my channel. Did you know Andrew Tate has been arrested for 30 days? I don't give a fuck. I didn't know who that motherfucker was until he got taken down by Greta Thunberg. And so he's literally just a guy that gets introduced to me as a douchebag. And then people are like, he got arrested. I'm like, well, great. I didn't know him before that. So whatever. But apparently he was an influencer. And that just goes to show you that douchebags can be influencers, apparently, in this day and age. There's a lot of those out there. Anyway, Low Noise, Jason Skills. I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers live at a festival. Was disappointing. Kind of draggy set. Foo Fighters were a much better live show. Yeah. Foo Fighters put on a great live show. And I'll be interested to see what happens because apparently they're continuing with a new drummer, and see what happens with that. Anar, the director of Violent Night, is Norwegian. I highly recommend a few of his other films, such as Dead Snow 1 and 2 and The Trip. Okay, noted. That's awesome. Thoughts on Canadian metal? I like some Canadian metal bands. I like some Canadian bands that aren't metal. So yeah, it doesn't matter where they come from. There's a lot of bands from a lot of areas that I really like. Beer Maniac 31, Exodus, cranked and ranked episode, maybe they are on the list. So yes. Nicholas Fisher, Big Trouble in Little China is a great movie. It's a fucking killer movie. Pretty cheesy, but I like that. Low Noise, Jason Skills, EPMD, Airp and Rakim, Gangstar, Big Daddy Kane, PE. Oh, Public Enemy is another big one for me. Can't go wrong with golden era of hip hop. Yeah, that's when I came of age. That's what I'm saying. Late 80s, early 90s. So the metal and hip hop that was going on late 80s, early 90s is the shit that I love more than anything. Let's see. Oh, okay. Juso My comment was about bigger channels versus smaller channels. Bigger the channel is, it's harder to becomes to communicate with creators. Yeah. But also I guess the only reason I look at some big channels and I get kind of aggravated is because I know some of these people are getting paid, and I don't really get paid anything because I don't have enough views at this point. So it would be nice to be bigger so I could devote more time and energy into doing this. But it is what it is. Eventually I'll get there. Integrity 101. My girlfriend said she didn't care about size. Now she's my wife. Very good one. All right. Jarlith OG, outside cranked and ranked. What's your music listening routine? How many albums do you get through a week? At least, I mean, if it's not cranked and ranked, I probably listen to half a dozen to a dozen albums a week. Some I listen to in headphones while I'm working during the day. Some I play records at night sometimes. But I would say, yeah, at least half a dozen, if not more, per week that I listen to. But that's because I sit down and listen to full albums. And usually with cranked and ranked, that takes up a lot of time where I'm listening to a lot of things repeatedly to make sure I have good shit to say for an episode. Let's see. All right, where are we? Juso has a good question. What's going to happen to metal after bigger, well-known bands retire? The genre is going to collapse, and it'll be very, very underground because I think that the weird thing about music, I don't know if anybody else saw this article. I don't remember who put it out, but it had the streaming numbers from across the board for younger people, and the majority of the music that younger people were listening to was old music. They weren't listening to a lot of new music. I think it was like something crazy, like 5% was actually new music for young people. And I think that's because with the internet, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, you can just listen to whatever, whenever. And if you're watching a movie or a show, or playing a video game and you hear a random song and you go, oh, I like that song. Your thought isn't, when did that song come out? It's just, oh, I like this song. I'm going to go listen to it. And so I think there's just so much music from the 70s, 80s, 90s that is still just really good shit that even younger people, like my daughter's into a lot of stuff. She's going to be 12 and she listens to some new stuff, but I've seen her playlist and she listens to a lot of older stuff as well. And some of it, she doesn't know what year it came out. She just hears a song and likes it. Sometimes listens to a whole album, sometimes not. So it's just, I think that even when the big metal bands retire, I have a feeling that a lot of that old music is still going to resonate for a long time. I just think that when it comes to new music, I just think that there's not enough bands making a dent in the metal world, because you can't just do the same shit over and over again, because you're only going to have your small group of fans. And I know that branching out and appealing to more people is considered selling out, and that is a problem. That is one of the toxic traits of the metal scene, and it has been forever. But that's how bands live on. Bands live on by expanding their sound and doing different things and reaching more people. I mean, that's just the truth. And if it's, I don't know. So, I mean, I'll be dead. So, oh man, my coffee grows cold. I want some milk. I should have been told. Anyway, I don't put any milk in my coffee. It's black. I like my coffee black, like I like my metal. Stevan, the Mars Volta cranked and ranked. That would be interesting. I'd probably want to do At the Drive-In before I did Mars Volta, but that would be fun. I think those bands might be on our list. Fuck, I don't know. Going back and making sure I'm not missing anything. Sorry, guys. Dead air. Integrity 101, to my ears, new popular music sounds like nursery rhymes for adults. But, our parents said the same thing about our music. So some of it I don't like, but, it's not for me. X Curry, I find a lot of old metal through YouTube recommendations, and a lot of it is really good. So yeah, there you go. It's just, but I think that's perfect. I think that is actually a good thing from what's going on the internet, is the fact that music is becoming just a big pool of things that, sure, it's harder to be noticed as a new artist, but at the same time, it's made music just like you like what you like. And that's why a lot of the gatekeeping and other fucking rules that everybody has just need to be thrown out the fucking window, and just listen to what you listen to and share music that you like. I do not understand the obsession with edgelords, as the young people say, just putting out videos about how things suck or why things are bad. And I'm just like, whatever. I mean, it's fine. Do whatever you want to do, I guess. To be honest, I love seeing younger bands live and making releases. For punk and metal, it's better when it's fresh bands. Some older bands need to actually retire. Don't necessarily agree with that, but I think a lot of what younger bands are doing is so much rehash that the only good thing about them is that they're new. That's it. Stevan, I discover new bands every year for the last 6 decades. Old Refused was my favorite new music in 2022. Oh, wow. Refused. I really like Refused. Shave of Punk to Come was a really big album for me when it came out. It was at 99 that came out, either 99 or 2000 when that album came out, and I loved it. But yeah, I also like the album prior to that too. Let's see. Do we really need another Overkill or Iron Maiden or Testament album if it's all the same tunes with no real changes? I don't think Testament have been putting out their shit. They do need to change some things up, but I think for the most part, their stuff still seems pretty fresh to me. Iron Maiden and Overkill, I agree. They need to change some things up. Stevan, Sparta. Sparta's another band. He's related to Mars Volta and At the Drive-In. I actually saw one of Sparta's very first shows, which had, I think, a completely different lineup, except for the bass player and guitar player, obviously, that ended up on the first album. It was the bass player and drummer from At the Drive-In. There was somebody different in the band that didn't end up continuing with the band. I don't know. Anyway, it's only interesting to a few people. Another interesting story, Stevan, since you're bringing up those bands, this will only be interesting to people that know this band, but in 1998, it was either 97 or 98. I was in a band, and we were called Penfold, and it's not the emo band Penfold. We were a very small band from Austin, Texas, and we played skate punk type music that, we were really into Fat Records and stuff like that. A little bit of emo-ish was coming through, not emo like My Chemical Romance, but emo, Sunny Day Real Estate kind of thing. It was a little bit of that happening. Anyway, so we got booked to play a show at a park. It was going to be like a handful of bands playing in a park in a nearby town in Waco. It was Waco, Texas. And we went there. We got booked to play that show. So we went there. And when we got there, there was supposed to be a big storm. So some of the bands had canceled. And at that point, they were still waiting for people to show up. And they're like, well, we're waiting for some of the other bands to show up. So, just hang out for a while. And we're like, well, hey, can we go? We're just going to go grab some food and we'll be right back. And they're like, all right, cool. So we go grab some food, and then we drive back, and there's a band already setting up. And we were supposed to be the first band, but there's a band already setting up. And we walk over and we're like, hey, we were supposed to play first, so you guys don't have to play yet. And they're like, oh, no, that's no problem. We're at the drive-in. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know who the fuck you are. So I'm just like, all right, at the drive-in, great. And all I remember was that a crowd of people ended up showing up, and At the Drive-In kicked in. We were playing on a fucking tennis court. There was no stage. It was just At the Drive-In, kids surrounding them. And they broke into their first song, and we all took like 3 or 4 steps back. And it was At the Drive-In was one of the best live bands I've ever seen. And just seeing them on a tennis court destroying everything, also knowing that my shitty punk band was about to play after them. So it didn't go very well, but they were really nice. They bought one of our tapes and they were just great dudes. And then they got in their van and they left. And we headlined over at the Drive-In, which was it was great. But that band fizzled out about a year or two later. And then that's the story for my music career. I start a band, they go for a few years, it fizzles out, we don't go anywhere. And now I don't play in bands anymore because I'm tired of people, except for you guys. You guys all rule. Anyway, Fraser Dawson, what's going on? I mean, did you see the title of the video? Or are you talking about Marvin Gaye? Great album from Marvin Gaye. Met Brad, old head. That's me. Congrats. Love the channel. Can't wait for new Metallica. Hoping for a new take on the Metallica sound. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Nicholas Fisher. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with these after story time. Trying to keep up with these comments. I've been listening to Forbidden a lot recently. I'm glad I gave them a chance. Yeah, Forbidden fucking rule. Santeria 78. 30 years ago, you had to search for this stuff in magazines and mail orders. Nowadays, it's paradise. Absolutely. There was something really great about discovering things back in the day. That's better back in the day. But now it is cool that it's so much easier. But will they have the same, the memories and the music be as meaningful to them 30 years down the line? That's a different story. So we'll see about that. Let's see. Gary, that's it, Steven. You like what you like, but we are part of a global community of metal interests. What? The global community of metal is mostly people who are not very nice people. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm fine with being a global community of music. But I think the problem is drawing lines, but I'm not sure what you meant by that, but yeah. Integrity 101. I don't like Linkin Park, but I also don't go click on their music videos to tell everyone they are stupid for liking them. Absolutely. Integrity 101. I don't understand that. Do not understand that. Everyone just do what you do. All right. Santeria 78, 20, 30 years ago, you had to look for new bands. Oh, wait, we saw that. Santeria 78, why are you tired of people? It's because of the internet, because it's really shown me that there are a lot of awful people, but also just being in bands. It turned me off because I would always end up in bands with people that weren't quite what I needed to do what I wanted to do. And I'm not confrontational enough just to kick people out of bands. And I'm not cutthroat like that. And then at the same time, there'd be other people in the bands that didn't really want to do it. And I always found myself being in bands with people that didn't want to practice, didn't want to write new stuff. And it was always on my shoulders to do everything in pretty much every band I've ever been in. So it got a little lame. So I got tired of having to deal with people when it comes to music. Fraser Dawson, I think you told me from Houston, right? Have you heard of Hellstar? Yes, I have the first Hellstar album on vinyl. I like them. It's very old school traditional metal type stuff, but I like what I've heard. But they're from Houston, yeah. Gary, I meant the taste of individuals' music. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I just think the problem is it needs to be addressed that way from everybody. It's not going to, because people aren't going to stop being turned off by metal elitists or other music elitists until everyone just drops the bullshit. Santeria 78, man, I'm tired of the most people too. It's the same in the martial arts community. I get it, man. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I don't even know where I would begin doing something like martial arts, but yeah. I love Cobra Kai though. Does that count? Anyway, okay. It's been over an hour and I think I'm going to wrap this up. So if anybody has some last minute questions or comments, thank you for being here, for joining me. Yep. That means I got to go because I'm getting words mixed up in my head. Thank you for being here for the 4th year anniversary of Old Head. I'm going to get a drink. This is vodka. I'm just kidding. It's water. But yeah, here's to another 4 years plus however many years I can continue to do this. I just love that there's a platform like this that I'm able to do it on, not just YouTube, but all the other areas that I share stuff on. That's why people talk shit about social media. And I go, well, I guess for some people, social media is a bad thing. But for me, I connect with people that I normally wouldn't connect with. And it gives me a way to be social, even though I'm a person that doesn't like being social very much. So there you go. Let's see. Integrity 101. I'm not excited for the future of music when I hear people talking about holograms of dead musicians touring. To me, that's soulless garbage. I don't get it. Who would I see as a hologram? I probably wouldn't see anybody as a hologram. All right. Stevan, nope. Salut from Romania. Thank you, Claudiu. Stevan, have a great 2023. Old head, thank you very much. Integrity 101. Hey, man, you do a great job. Keep going. Thanks for making the content. Keep having fun. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Gary Byron, Happy New Year to all. Happy New Year. Anar, keep having a good day, sir. Thank you. What is this? In school, a lot of bands didn't want me since I took a lot of inspiration from thrash and death metal guitar players. Yeah, that happens. Absolutely. I think a lot of us were outcast at some point or another. And that's why it's good. And that's why it's good, one, to have a place where everybody can come together. But that's also good that you treat other people that are outside of your scope like they have just as much value as you do. And that is my final thought, the Springer final thought, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We will always love your channel. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much, Vengeance Falls. And yeah, that's a great comment to go out on. Thank you very much for being here. Happy New Year. Thank you for 4 great years. And I'll see you guys Monday with my new video. But yeah, thanks for being here. Hello, everyone in Facebook land. Hello, everyone in Twitter. If people on Twitter are watching, and YouTube. And if you're watching this as a replay, thank you for watching. But yeah, you guys rule. Everybody have a good New Year. I hope everybody is healthy and happy. And I hope all this music that comes out is the best music we've ever heard. So that being said, everybody have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you all again very soon.